tell me the truth. Crossroads, I've seen it before, again and again, and then some more. These are the things we give and take. These are the times that make or break. Tell me the truth, what do you see when you look at the world, when you look at me? Tell me the truth, what do you see when you look at the world? Do you see free? Searching for truth once and for all. Who, what, when, and where, it's not our call. Sometimes we have answers without any question. Are we even close or in the right direction? Tell me the truth, what do you see when you look at the world, when you look at me? Tell me the truth, what do you see when you look at the world? Do you see free? Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. The intersection of wrong and right. If you don't look up, you can't see the light telling you which way you should go, even though you know deep in your soul. Tell me the truth, what do you see when you look at the world, when you look at me? Tell me the truth, what do you see when you look at the world? Do you see free? Tell me the truth.
Tell me the truth. The song that you guys just played. Not, I'm telling you to tell me the truth. But seriously, where did that song come about?
It's a pretty simple premise as far as that one goes. No one likes being lied to. That's really what it comes down to. I mean, there's a further personal explanation, but no one wants to hear about my issues. You know what I mean? So it's a pretty broad thing on that one.
RJ Conrad, Rascal Revival. Thanks for joining us. Studio sessions at Channel 20. How did you guys come about? How did Rascal Revival come to be?
Well, absolutely. Thanks for having us. First of all, Rascal Revival started a little over 5 years ago. My wife and I were pregnant with our first child, and I realized if I didn't start a band before she was born, it was just never going to happen.
So you've always wanted, this was always
I always wanted a band, and I was tired of saying I've always wanted to do that, and I just decided I'm going to, and rather than having that voice in the back of my head telling me, oh man, I've always wanted to do that. Like, I'm the only person holding me back from doing it. So I had been playing out solo for a couple years, and I got to the point where I felt like I was ready to start a band, and it was time. So we started as like a folk trio, wrote a couple songs together, and we lost our original drummer. He became a sound guy at HMAC. So Friday night, Saturday night, he's booked. So we lost our drummer, and I found our new drummer, Jeff. And I guess he's not that new anymore. This is just before COVID. He joined, and he brought along with him Jake Joyce, our lead guitarist. And amongst that time, we played a gig, and our saxophone player, Eric, just joined us on stage one time, and he's been a staple in the band ever since.
So did you know these guys before you started the band?
I knew our original drummer, and I actually found Caleb online. He's our violin player. He plays violin for pit orchestras, for plays, all sorts of things. He was kind of just looking for more work, and I reached out to him, and I believe I was the last work he's taken on. I'm sorry. Just he likes that we play original music. I don't tell them what to do, hardly ever. I bring them a song, and we jam on it for a while, figure out what we want to do with it, and go from there. So we are kind of a jam band. I try not to overdo it, but I have some songs that we just keep the way that we recorded them, and then there's other songs that we kind of let the music take us where we want to go.
What is that moment like when you're on stage and you just kind of get into a jam and you have no idea what's coming up in the next 30 seconds?
It's the best. I think that's to me what live music is and should be. Improvisation and just feeling what the other musicians are doing and hearing it. And like I said, you really just feel it more than you hear it sometimes. And I think that's just the magic of music. And I think that's what brings me close together with those guys. And when I'm in an audience, that's what I seek. So I try to connect people through music, and here we are 5 years later with a 6-piece band and doing some fun things. See it clear as the day, some clouding by the doubt. Yeah, there's a flood of hate and love is in a drought. There's people being poisoned all each and every day. Fingers being pointed all each and every way. I weep for the world, I weep for you and me. I weep for the world, is this how it's supposed to be? No, no, I don't think so. Ain't it funny how we're in the age of information? The schools are made for profit instead of education. Their students taught to test instead of people to grow. A world that's run by greed is all they'll ever know. I weep for the world, I weep for you and me. I weep for the world, is this how it's supposed to be? Oh no, I don't think so. Oh no. And right, they're both wrong, you know that that's the truth. They create the problems and blame it on the youth. Distract and divide, lather, rinse, repeat. Add a little pinch of fear and watch it as they eat it up. I weep for the world, I weep for you and me. I weep for the world, is this how it's supposed to be? Oh no, I don't think so. No, no. Despite all of this, there's hope for us, you see. We could come together and for the world find peace. Bright and slightly cloudy day, perfect for a ride. I was on my motorcycle and hit the countryside. I'm 4 miles down the road, an intersection, hill and curve, where I let off the gas and lean into the turn. But as I approached the crest of this familiar hill, an old man turned in front of me and time nearly stood still. The way I look at this ain't the way I look at that. No matter what happens next, the next may never last. Take a look at this, take a look at that. No matter what happens soon, we'll soon be in the past. In the blink of an eye, this car just feet ahead. Well, I could hear my heart beating in my head. Could see him panic as I hit my brakes so slow. Woman in a van behind him, there's nowhere to go. Had only one choice, not by me but decided. Was to let go of the brake, swerve beside the van and behind him. The way I look at this ain't the way I look at that. No matter what happens next, the next may never last. Take a look at this, take a look at that. No matter what happens soon, we'll soon be in the past. I'm moving fast, but time is moving slow. Getting my options through my head, but still nowhere to go. He's committed at this point as I begin to swerve. Window's getting bigger, but I'm running out of nerve. Just inches to spare on either side of me. I looked into the van and I could see her eyes were green. And I could see a fear in her I could not see in me. When I took my eyes off hers, time was back to speed. Oh, the way I look at this ain't the way I look at that. No matter what happens next, the next may never last. Take a look at this, take a look at that. No matter what happens soon, we'll soon be in the past.
Is there anything, any groups that you kind of look at over time as you have kind of formed and become Rascal Revival over the years that you kind of look back on and say that band or that artist was a major inspiration to us?
For me, it's, and my drummer, it's Dave Matthews Band. We also have a Grateful Dead influence. I think that's kind of why we go to the jam sometimes. But what's great is the other guys all bring various influences, so it's not too much like any of those guys or any of those bands. Like I said, it's kind of a jam band, but we keep some songs as we recorded them, and
I don't want to turn this into a Dave Matthews podcast, but
Yeah,
I mean
right.
that is like the first band that I fell in love with
Awesome.
as well.
Fantastic.
So, and we're probably around the same age.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you first were introduced to Dave Matthews, what was that moment for you like?
I'd actually heard in the Live at Luther College album, and that's what really got me hooked. The band itself is great, but just hearing those two acoustic guitars, I felt like that's when I found a music that I felt like that's what music should sound like. That's I like folk music, but I feel like the guitar is sometimes just too simple. I like the fact that you can dance to this acoustic music. It's just a lot of fun to me.
So the guitar and I guess the band, because you mentioned violin
and saxophone.
you mentioned saxophone, that kind of
Yes.
brings it together. So you get that influence. You've got the jam band aspect of Dead,
Yes.
a little bit of Fish in there as well, kind of around the
Dispatch is
same.
another big influence of
Dispatch,
mine. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So within kind of this area, I mean, how did this area shape you as a musician growing up?
I feel like I got into the scene a little bit late, actually. I wasn't until my mid-20s that I started playing music out. I was done with college, and I was, like I said, I was just tired of being like, I would go out to dinner or something and go to a winery and be like, man, I feel like I could do that. I'm not far from that, and I just realized that all I do is have to work harder, and I could get there, and kept working hard, gained some more confidence, and I tell everyone, I'm the worst person in the band. These guys that I've been lucky enough to surround myself with are just phenomenal musicians, and they understand, I feel like, what we're trying to do as a band, and we just have a blast when we get together. I think that's what makes it so authentic, is we just have fun. It's not about making anything sound perfect. When we're in the studio, it's not about making anything sound perfect. It's what do we sound like live?
I find it so fascinating that you were such a late bloomer. I mean, did you play when you were a kid?
I had an acoustic guitar in the corner of my room, and I just played sports my whole life. It never became that serious, and I worked from the time I was 16, the same job from 16 all through college, so I didn't have a lot of time.
But you always wanted to start a band. That was always in the back of your mind.
It was always in the back, and I thought for the longest time that everyone else just did too. I thought that was like a normal thought. That
Everyone wants to start a
everyone
band.
was, yeah, like, oh yeah. So like, I remember the first time I ever like saw live music, it just changed me, and I thought everyone had that same experience as me for years.
What was your first concert?
A local cover band played at our elementary school, and it just fascinated me that I knew some of the songs I'd never heard before, and I was, from that moment, I was just like, I want to do that. I need to do that.
What did they cover?
The big one for me was "If You Could Only See" by Tonic. It was one of my favorite songs at the time, and I felt like I was the only person in the room, a gymnasium full of kids who likely aren't being quiet.
This really has transported back into a 1997
Yes. Oh,
between
yeah,
Live
right.
at Luther College and Tonic. This
Yes,
has become a
yeah,
1997 conversation. And Dispatch was not too long after that, throwing some guster there, and
Right.
we really
Right.
got ourselves a mixtape going.
Yeah.
So what do you want to accomplish now? You've found a band. You've made the band.
Right.
You guys are playing. What do you want to accomplish?
I want
moving
people to
forward?
come to our shows. That's Spotify plays are great. I mean, you don't make anything off of them anyway, but like, they're great and all, but we're a live band. That's where you're going to find the magic of what we do. You're not going to find that. I mean, you're going to find that on recording to a certain extent, but the live, seeing everything, feeling everything, having the room filled up with the sound instead of your earbuds or whatever your car's doing.
What are people going to experience at a Rascal Revival show?
The magic of music, and I feel like I want people who have never met before to be able to look at each other and just be like, man, that was great, and then see each other at a show a few months down the road and like remember each other. And I want to bring people together through music, and I feel like that's the power of music, not necessarily what you're getting, how many plays you're getting on Spotify or on YouTube and whatnot. But I feel like live music is where it's at.
RJ Conrad, Rascal Revival. Before we let you guys get out of here, give us a plug where people can find you.
We are on Facebook, Instagram, all that jazz, iTunes, Spotify. We have our own website, rascalrevivalmusic.com. We're actually going to be playing at the Englewood on September 30th. We have a new single coming out 2 weeks prior to that, September 16th. It's called Put Your Shoes On. I wrote it with my daughter, actually. She just turned 5. And real quick, we wrote the story during quiet time. She has a younger brother and a younger sister who nap every day, and she does not nap. And every day I'll ask her, what do you want to do today? And one day she said she wanted to write a song. So a couple weeks later, we had it together, and I had the chord progression I had already been kind of working on. We ran with that, and it was a lot of fun. I got to talk to her about words that rhyme and how to stay on topic, and it was really cool because 4-year-olds don't know what cliches are, and I generally try to steer clear of cliches. Granted, I have a song about cliches, making fun of cliches. It's just loaded with them, but it's cool because I felt like they were placed in the right places, the cliches that are in the song, and it was just a lot of fun. I'm never going to forget writing the song with her, and it might not be our best work as a band per se, but it's my favorite song of ours for sure.
What did having kids mean for your music, and how did that influence your music?
I honestly think part of what made me wait so long to start the band was because I felt like I didn't have the right things to say, or I didn't feel like I was coming from the right point of view. I feel like once I became a parent, I was able to understand things a lot better and understand that what my kids are going through is similar yet different to what other kids are going through. That they're all going to handle things differently, but they're all going through the same world together. So I think that having that perspective has made it easier for me to write songs and complete songs lyrically.
Some of the greatest songs of all time are about daughters and sons and children.
Yeah.
All right. RJ Conrad, Rascal Revival, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Was down on the ground, you picked me up, turned me around, dusted me off, dried my tears, cleaned me up, and fought my fear. Saved me from my worst enemy. Saved me, my enemy was me. Thought I was alone, you picked me up and took me home, got me warm and back to life. When it was dark, you brought me light. Saved me, my worst enemy. Saved me, my enemy was me. Save me from my worst enemy. Save me from my enemy was me. you saved me. My worst enemy, you saved me, you saved me. My enemy was me. You saved me, you saved me. My worst enemy, save me, you saved me. My enemy was me. Put your shoes on, let's go outside. I hear it's nice today, there's no need to hide from the sun all your worries. Just put your shoes on and then take the next step, other than cruise on. Run around, run away, walk it off, seize the day. Put your shoes on, take a step in the right way. Probably grab some water for whatever is next. Adrenaline and adventure, or reading, writing, and rest. Maybe go grab a snack too, some fuel for your mind and fuel for your body. Who knows what you might find when you run around, run away, walk it off, seize the day. Put your shoes on, take a step in the right way. To live a little, I say to laugh a lot. If you want to be happy, don't be something you're not. Not all lessons are learned in school, some you'll just figure out. Keep your body moving, you see you can't go without. So run around, run away, walk it off, seize the day. Put your shoes on, take a step in the right way.